Cherrywood Podcast featuring me, Ricky Gross.
And me, Steven Arnold.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Simon Burridge.
And me, Rachel Burridge.
Hello, fellas. All right. Thanks for coming on. Bit of a soap podcast for you today. My old mate Richard, as we've just found out.
Yes.
And we've got Steve on from Corrie. Well, not from Corrie now, mate, is it? It's been a while, isn't it?
14 years.
14 years. And what's it been for you? 15 years?
14. We left more or less the same year.
Because I reckon we're going to go on to the sign in a minute, but I reckon you came...
Okay.
I reckon you came off that canal boat up north and then smashed up the old bar, which killed you, just so you could do this sort of tour. And
that might be the thing. Right, are we ready then?
yeah, I'll stick it up. I'll stick it up for you. Here we go. So, that piece of crap goes there. Chicken's falling off.
It's going very well, isn't it?
I'm going for 5 minutes now.
Oh, yeah?
Now.
How long? That didn't even last 5 minutes, did it?
No, so
I'm
maybe...
going for 1 minute, 51 seconds.
Perfect. Right, we're going to go to our sponsors. When we come back, the timer will start.
Leave that now.
Oh, that's it. That's taking over the bloody podcast. Right, go to the sponsors.
Today's sponsors are Diodia Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on diodiciassociates.com.
Club Awesome. For autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit. And we're back. There we go. They're good sponsors, weren't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
Right.
We've got to have sponsors.
So what brings you two together? How long have you known each other? Stuff like that. Let's have a work.
Not that long, to be fair. I did Panto at Christmas. A lady director, Lucia, and we just worked together. She said, "Have you ever met Ricky Grove?" I said, "No, our paths have crossed so many times. We've been, we must have been award ceremonies and stuff together, but we never actually spoke."
Oh, right, okay.
And then she said, "You two would be great together. I do these holiday parks, and you'd be great, like double like you're so similar." So I said, "Okay." And anyway, we ended up working together at Easter, didn't we? Doing Easter Panto.
Doing an Easter Panto.
Just by coincidence?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And we got on really well. And Lucia got in touch and then put this tour together, and the rest is history, really. We're here now doing it.
Yeah, 19 dates. I think we've been on the road 3 weeks now. And so, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we started down in, Cambridge. Steve is North Wales. So he came to me, and then we had 3 days of just sort of rehearsing it. We'd already had a previous meeting about what we were going to do. And then off we went, and the first leg was down in Devon, at Dawlish. Then we went down to Bodmin and Cornwall, Porpero, back up, and then all the way up to Hull.
How do you remember all this? I do not know how you remember.
Hull.
Blimey, that is one corner of the country to the other, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is more or less. And then back onto the Suffolk coastline, down to the Essex coastline, Clacton-on-Sea, Mortello Beach, and then Southminster, which is more, near Chelmsford Way. And then we've just done Sheppey, Whitstable, and Birchington Vale, which is Margate. And then we come here, and then we're off then to New Romney, Dymchurch.
Right.
And then Winchelsea, Pevensey Bay, and then we're off and we finish at Chichester Lakeside on...
He's nodding,
Saturday.
but he don't know.
No. And that's why my battery light's just come on my car.
Yeah, I bet you've done some miles. You've been tracking the mileage.
No,
we should have.
We should have done that.
Should have.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll do about 2,500 all in.
Yeah.
I think it will be something
be
like that
far
by the
off.
time we get home, yeah.
So what's it like, a question and answer thing? Or
No,
you've got a routine you guys come up with?
Cabaret, yeah, we have a bit of a
cabaret.
routine. It's a bit of slapstick. There's a lot of stuff we took away from Panto, and then we'd get the kids up to have a dance off.
Oh, right, okay.
We do a sing along, don't
Yeah,
we?
it's North versus South.
North versus South. So I do Oasis. He's
Blur.
madness.
And that's just been announced today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant news.
Yeah.
I'm over the moon
Have
with
you
that.
been to see him before?
Loads
You've
of
probably met
times.
him, haven't you?
Briefly, yeah. I've had a phone call off Liam as well once.
Have you?
Yeah, he was mad at me. I was meant to be going. I'm really good mates with Ricky Hatton, and we used to go away all the time. And he was going over to New York to do a bit of press for one of his fights, and I couldn't go, couldn't get the time off work. And he phoned me up and said, "I don't mean rub it in." He said, "But someone here wants to speak to you," and it was Liam Gallagher.
Oh my God.
I had a really good chat with him, you know. on the phone for about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And he said, I said, I'm on about coming to the Etihad. The Etihad had just set his new ground.
Yeah.
So he said, phone this number. And it was about 6 months later, and I phoned this lady up, and he laid on a box for us, champagne, vodka, everything. And so none of my mates from work, we had a great time.
I've only ever
Never really met him face to face, though.
I've only heard good stories about him, really.
He's just brilliant, he was. I thought he was ace. So I'm so excited to have him back. They're my favourite band, Oasis.
Yeah. Our
looking
first
forward.
date was at Oasis.
It was.
2009, actually.
Yeah.
Probably the last, wasn't it the last one?
They're fantastic
I
live.
think,
gig was the last gig.
one, yeah.
Is that your first date?
It was.
So you're nearly done then. Nearly done.
And then I was like, oh.
She's broke any record I've ever had in a past.
But it was so funny because we got there, didn't we? And they were just, I think the support
Kings of Leon and
Yeah.
The Enemy.
Yeah.
I love The Enemy.
Yeah.
But they didn't play for some reason. But Kings of Leon played.
But there was this guy that was obviously there all morning.
He
got
was
absolutely
shit-faced.
shit-faced and couldn't stand. He had to get one of those stretchers.
They wheeled
to
him
get
away before
carried
Oasis
off.
came on.
Oasis didn't even come on stage
Really?
yet, and we were just sitting there going,
Really? You
nice.
missed it?
Yeah.
Totally shit-faced.
I love big gigs. I love going and watch bands.
it's so
I've
funny.
not been for such a long time. I need to go. I'm going to try and get
But
tickets for
it's
this.
funny at Wembley because they changed the toilets, didn't they? Changed the women's toilets to men's toilets. There's like
One.
about 5 women's toilets at Oasis gigs.
Oh, really?
The rest are men's. And
Yeah.
it is just like an inch of...
Oh,
I just remember him saying to
rank.
me,
It's rank.
I just remember him saying to me, like, this is an Oasis gig. He said, don't wear anything nice. Wear skanky trainers. And he went, don't worry about anything. I was like,
Take an
oh,
umbrella.
okay.
get your wellies on.
Yeah, take an umbrella with you because that isn't beer they're throwing about. Yeah.
Oh,
No, really pleased they're back. So, right, so yeah, 2009 for both of you, wasn't it?
2010. Yeah.
2010.
Ah, right, okay.
I mean, we do a thing in our act where I come out and obviously I do Park Life to start with.
Oh, God, I'd sang that the other day.
Change
Funny
the
enough.
words to because it's Park Holidays that we're doing the gigs for.
Oh,
I've changed all the lyrics. You know, Little Maisie's got the ump. She always gets the lower bunk on her Park Holiday Homes vacation. Park Life. And all my family holidays were in caravan because a caravan park in Clacton-on-Sea. So I do this thing where I say, I tell them about it, all my holidays and my bank holidays and half terms and summer holidays. So I know exactly what you're going through. I sort of say that to sort of put them at ease. Steve comes out and then literally we have a little bit of fun and games and like I say, it's all going very well, isn't it? I think we've got 5 more to do, so we've knocked
We're
off
nearly
14
there.
so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the
Not
lights at
far
the
off
end of
now.
the tunnel.
It
Hopefully
is.
there's not a train coming.
Now,
so.
are you glad the lights at the end of the tunnel? Are
it
you
exhausting?
there now?
I think it's
for
missing home a little bit, isn't it?
It's missing. It's the more getting to places really because they're so. I mean, we've been so
it's not-
fortunate the last couple.
Not
of
been well
nights.
planned, really, is it?
They never are sometimes.
No.
That's just what they can fit you in,
Yeah,
so you have to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very fortunate to get 19 dates, aren't we? Really?
Yeah.
So it's not. The only thing is like you're going on at 9 o'clock, so there's a lot of hanging around in the day. If you're there, that's the only thing. But doing the shows is great, and the audience has been great. The children have really joined in. All the adults, they have a good drink beforehand, and they all join in. So
I think it's nice because we're recognisable to the age demographic of people that are in the business of wanting to buy a caravan as a holiday home.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
And they're
right,
in the business of selling caravans.
Yeah.
So we fit a good link to them saying, "Oh, this is not bad," to come and have your summer holidays in. And there's cabaret, truth be
But
known.
it's not just the soaps. You've both done the dancing as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, what we haven't done.
We should have a little league. Who's done the most sort of like...
Well, no, the funny thing is, we've been sat in the car, obviously talking, and it's funny the amount of people we know or we've met that we've got something in common. And then we found out the other day we've both done that wipeout in Argentina.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
But I never knew that.
We were talking about that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because they only put it in Argentina for health and safety reasons.
it,
didn't
can't
they?
that's it. You can't get insured.
Yeah.
That's why they do it in
So
Argentina.
were you guys actually on it and doing it?
Yeah, not together, not the same
together.
show,
No,
but we did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember Dom Jolly breaking his ankle.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
one of the girls, I think Nicola McLean, I think her name was, and as I was being interviewed after I'd done the course, there was, one of those, she wasn't hurt that badly, thank goodness, but nowadays they over precaution it and they put her in a head thing, on
one
a
of the
stretcher
braces,
like that.
Yeah.
She went past as you were
She
going
went
on.
past as I was being interviewed, and I was like, What have I got myself into?
Terry Christian broke his ribs when I was doing that, and another girl pulled her neck.
Well, you are wearing that protection thing. That
It's more of a life.
shocking, isn't it?
That's more of a life
It's
jacket.
funny because people have folded in half on it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know,
It's a good laugh, though. It's a great laugh. And you get to go Argentina.
Steve will back me up on this, though. You know that wall with the boxing gloves?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You do not hear. That is so pneumatic with the amount of PSI behind it.
Yeah.
But when it starts up, because they start it up after you do the first little bit, it is like, I won't do it, but it is like, it's like a machine.
Yeah. And you know you're going to get hit by
and even if it just glanced you, it takes you out of the equation.
Yeah.
And
It's really slippy as well, isn't it? Because obviously
totally.
it's all water, you know.
Yeah, but that was a wonderful experience. So yeah, it's like funny. We've been sat in the car talking about, and you know, I was very pleased to learn about Steve's background. I mean, I didn't know that Steve was a very good amateur boxer years ago.
Right. Okay.
And Steve, you could elaborate on that in a bit, but like I say, just quickly, it was like just learning about what it was like for Steve starting in
How
soap
we both started.
and stuff like that, you know. So
yeah, we can move on to that then. So who wants to go first on that? Because you with EastEnders, ain't a stepping stone Grange Hill, London's burning and EastEnders, something like that.
well,
wasn't
it was,
That's the
it
bill,
was
don't
I
get the
done
bill.
the bill. That's right.
So I got into the business via sort of Amdram really, and it was like a second education for me. And then someone said to me, because I would be in one, and I'd be reading for one, and then I'd be you know, not starring as such, but performing in one. And so someone said, "Have you ever thought about going to drama school?" And I was sort of 27 at the time. So before that, I had a very successful chef career, but I didn't want to do it anymore. And I sort of went, okay, yeah, I'll look into that because I do enjoy doing it. And I think it's the extrovert in me that does it. But not only that, I enjoyed it because it was like, you know, so you're getting a little bit of an ego from a massage from the audiences and that. And I've always thought I was quite quirky and extravagant sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not extravagant, I mean like, you know, very keen to please, as it were.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I auditioned for all the drama schools. I got in one called the Poor School that worked at evenings and weekends.
Right.
And so by that process, I could then, with my catering skills, go on an agency's book for the day.
Right. So where's this London?
This was in London,
Right,
yeah. And then by freak chance, the planets aligned, and I then started to manage a place called Shaw's Free House. And incidentally was set up by a guy who done What's On Where to Go in London, the original sort of Time Out magazine.
Yeah.
And that was based literally on the Pentonville Road, just where the Poor School was. So I'd go in the mornings, run the pub, because it was closed in the evenings because of the Barnsley Estate's quite a dangerous area, and they never used to have it. So it was used as a lunchtime pub by the NatWest Clearinghouses. And then I'd literally finish work and then go straight to the drama school from like 6 till 10 at night. And then go home and then the process repeat, get 4 hours kip, and then and away you go again, and then work at weekends as well. So, and then that was the process of going for drama school. Getting an agent came next. And then I got a good agent called Waring and McKenna, and they put me up. I think I'd done 3 short pilots for the BBC, a thing called Other Animals with Richard Wilson and Stephanie Cole, London's Burning, A Bill, and then Burnside.
Oh, right, you did do that.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
cool. Well, Cockney casting back then was very, very in favour, and it always moves. It was 1 minute it's Welsh, then it's Scottish and Scottish Taggart and all those Scottish dramas.
Yeah.
And then I got the call for EastEnders. They auditioned 400 Garys, got us down to 10, workshopped it in the Queen Vic because there was no Charlie Slater, no Gary, and no young sister. I can't remember her name now. Michelle Ryan got the role anyway.
Right, yeah.
Not Zoe. I want to say Zoe. I want to say Zoe.
It was Zoe.
Was it Zoe?
Yeah,
She
Cat's
knows
daughter.
all bloody.
Cat's daughter,
Yeah,
yeah.
Zoe. Yeah.
And so they workshopped us.
What, the You Ain't My Mother?
Yeah, that one.
Michelle Ryan.
She was like Wonder Woman, didn't she?
Yeah, she was. She Wonder Woman in America for a couple of
did great,
seasons.
yeah. She did
Yeah,
great.
she's done really well. And so and then I got the gig, and then as they say, the rest is history.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant. So, same for you then.
Not
Your
really,
turn.
mine was completely different, to be honest. I was just,
Punch shit out of someone and got the
that
job.
was it. Threatened them. No, basically, I went to school one day, and my drama teacher said to me, get yourself in the assembly room for 10 o'clock. So I did. I went in there, and about 50 kids were there. My brother was there. So anyway, this producer from America introduced herself, and this director from London, John Roberts, said we're auditioning for 2 boys to be lead parts in the film called This Boy's Story about George Best.
Right, okay.
And me and my real life brother went through about 7 auditions. We both got the main parts in it.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so, and we got to work with George as well, which I'm a massive Man United
Well,
fan.
we've met Callum Best. We've interviewed
Yeah,
Callum Best
yeah.
recently.
But anyway, yeah, so it went on to win a Best Short Film at the Student Oscars, and it won a BAFTA Best Short Film.
Right, and what was the film called?
This Boy's Story.
Oh, right, I have to look for
Channel
that.
4 have bought it now.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so that was basically it. We went to the premiere of it after 6 months. It took like 6 months to get it together. We went down to London with my mum and dad on the Saturday, travelled back on the Sunday, went to school on the Monday. Come back, and my mum normally had my tea ready for about 4:30. And we had a phone on the stairs. You know, she sat on the stairs. The phone just kept ringing and ringing. She kept picking it up and picking it up.
Because kids don't know that nowadays, do they?
No,
you know, the cord
no,
that you have to link to the phone and drag it around the house.
Yeah.
But every time she put it down, it rang. And I was going, where's my bleeding tea? You know, it's finished it. Anyway, about 5:30, it stopped. I said, where's my tea? I've not had time yet. She said, I've had about 100 agents phone the house. They want to sign you and Kevin up.
What?
So then we basically picked an agent. We both went with the same agent. And then the rest was history. That was it. We just never stopped working.
Did your brother
after
still
that.
act?
No, he stopped. We both did. We did a film straight away after that together called Growing Pains. Then we did Children's Wall together, pretty much the same path as
Right.
Grange Hill and EastEnders. It was always, there was so many characters from Children's Wall, young kids that ended up in Coronation Street. I think Angela Griffin, Alan Allsall, Chloe Newsom, myself, Jane Danson, a lot of us went. Anyway, we did Children's Ward. I did the first series, then he come in as my brother for the second series. Then he went one way. He did like September in the Rain with what's it called? He did that anyway, and then he did a few other big dramas, and I went off and like did Commoners, Muck and Etty Wainthropp and things like that, and then the call come for Coronation Street, and I was always a bit, should I do a soap? I always got told never to do a soap at the time. It wasn't like cool to do one, and I had a few weeks off.
Well, Bill Roach has done all right from it, hasn't he?
He's done very well, yeah. It's a lovely man, him. But anyway, so I went to see a fantastic director, God bless him, Brian Mills, and he just said, look, Stephen, this part's one ep. Do you want to come in and do it? So he said, what?
What sort of age were you at this time then?
20.
Oh, right,
roughly.
okay.
So I said, yeah, I'll come in and do one. Anyway, we get on set, and John Savernant was there that played Fred.
Yeah.
So I was working alongside him.
The character, wasn't he?
Oh, he was fantastic. Anyway, I starts working with him. He kept giving me little pointers and stuff. You know, I thought I'd been around the block and know what I'm doing. I didn't have a clue compared to him. He was so knowledgeable. And we was on set, and basically, they just, when we was filming it, they rewrote another I've seen another episode and said, we've done another ep. Would you do it? You'll get paid again. I said, yeah, okay. So I did 2 eps. Next day, my agent phoned me and said, how would you get on your stage? I said, you know what? I really enjoyed working with John Savernant. Said I could learn so much off him. They said, well, they've offered you 3 months if you want it.
What?
So I said, is he doing it?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, he's doing it. I said, go on, I'll give it 3 months. And then I did 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God.
So I suppose it was just butcher scenes, was it? Being in, I can't remember what your early scenes were.
At first, all our stuff was filmed in Eccles on location at a butcher's. And then I got introduced into the street, and they brought me in, and I moved in with a character called Don Brennan. Do you remember Don Brennan?
Do you remember the name?
He had one leg. He was married to Ivy Tilsley in it.
Yes.
Yeah, Lynn Perry.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Yeah, Jeff Inchliff. He's a lovely bloke. And then I got an house on there, and that was it. And
Established.
Yeah, just went from
once
there.
you got the
Really.
house, that's it. isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We were in. And
So when you're filming, is it an episode a day or an episode a week or how? Because I'm very
it's changed
naive
so
to
much,
that.
hasn't it, Ricky? I mean,
yes.
it's changed so much. Go on, let you answer that, mate.
What they put in the
Go on,
can on a film is probably about, if that, a minute, 30 seconds a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a feature, it's like a minute tops.
That's all you'll
Yeah.
get in the can, is probably that. I mean, unless, of course, it's something that, there's a massive part of the production that they can get 3 minutes in one camera shot, like Dunkirk or something. But no, I mean, soap, you've got to know where you are. We don't have rehearsals as such. It's rehearse and record really on EastEnders. And I think it's kind of a similar thing with Coronation Street.
Well, how many were you knocking out? 3 a week?
What, episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or what else I was doing in my dressing room. I don't know. What are you talking about?
I'm glad that knocking out means...
Stephen, I had to clutch my pearls there.
Honestly, that's hilarious because that's
My
what
God.
I was I would say.
No, we're basically, I mean, it's shot unchronologically most of the time, and any one singular time you could be working on 6 different episodes. More so on Coronation Street, I think they pushed the boundaries and the even more, and the barriers. They pushed it forward with having more episodes, and there was never really any rivalry. I think it was all to do with the BBC and ITV having those, and ITV having the long established soap, of Coronation Street. Goes back to that 62. Is it 1962?
I think so. It's been going 60 odd years.
Yeah.
Corrie? I thought Corrie was earlier than that, wasn't it?
Was it probably
60s? No, it's definitely in the 60s. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was.
And then
And it's
EastEnders is in its
85,
40th anniversary. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 84,
Next
85.
year.
You might have had the set. I mean, when I first started, we did 3 eps a week. So that was your block 3 episodes, and then 4 come in. So basically, we did all the exterior on a Sunday and Monday. We did a tech run Tuesday, blocked and rehearsed on Wednesday, and all the writers come down and watched it. And then you filmed Thursday, Friday in the studio. Then it went to 4. So they stopped that, and then it went to 5, and then they put 3 units on. So at one point, you was filming 15 episodes at once.
Yeah.
So you could be on one unit, going to another one. So you could be doing like episode 14, then coming back to number 2.
You're passing other characters that are going to the unit you've just been in to do their bit.
Yeah. So
That's
there's 3
mental,
units.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's mental, like a conveyor belt.
Do you know what though? It puts you in good stead, because I've always said this, because the speed of it turned around so quickly.
Yeah.
From like rehearsing, from when I started, you got rehearsals and you had time to talk about it and get directed. Where in the end it was like pretty much 20 minutes on each scene, apart from the Rovers, which generally took about an hour each, depending on how many characters was in there.
Right.
But yeah, it's always the
Bacon
buses.
sandwiches are turned up.
Bacon.
But yeah, it's really quick turnaround.
Come in.
Right. Yeah, really quick turnaround.
So
Blimey.
that must throw you off if you're doing a scene sort of for one bit, and then the next bit is something completely different. Then you've got to come back to that scene. Does that not mess with your head a bit?
I think if I can ask, I think there's an element. We get a lot of help. I mean, costume are fantastic. Makeup are fantastic. Thank you. See, look, they've even got our little names on them. Gary and Ashley. And
Go on.
yeah, so I'll give you, for instance, which is quite funny, which people don't realise, is we always used to film the externals first. So if there was 3 episodes in what you'd call a block, all the external stuff would get filmed outside. Yeah. And then for the second week, that team would move into the studios.
Right. Okay.
And then the next 3 episodes would film on the lot. You with me?
Yes.
And so it would revolve around that. And so sometimes if you're in the next 3 episodes, you'd come from the internals to go to the externals and that.
Yeah.
But when you're filming the externals, say for instance, it's what you call a direct cut. So I'm just about to go into the Queen Vic. I'll see you later, Mo. Open the door to the Queen Vic. And then the next week you'll be filming
Inside. Through the door.
you coming through the door. So if it's raining outside, you've forgotten all about it by now. Just a little bit of light drizzle. You'd go, see you later, get through the door. And then like 7:30 in the morning, like a Wednesday on, right? The makeup person would come up to you, go, right, you're right, yeah, morning.
Spray.
You go, what? He certainly used to wake you up. And then little bits like that, you go, right, so I've just come from that bit. So that could help. That helps you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not only that, I mean, I always used to put on my scripts where I was going to and where I'd just come from.
Right.
Okay.
And then if it was a major storyline, I remember Casey Ainsworth, fantastic actress. I think she won the, I think it was the soap award for the best actress that year or whatever it was. I think at the BAFTA as well, I think, or National TV Awards, that was it. And she used to sort of write down a sort of 1 to 10. So you don't want to burn too quickly. And so if it was like Trevor was going to hit her over the head with the iron like it was, she hits Trevor, that's the 10, isn't it?
He's done well for himself. And he was in
Batman, yeah.
He was in, he was also, sorry to jump in, but he was also in the old Disaster, wasn't he? He was naked in a Disaster, one of the miners.
Oh, what was he?
What's it called?
Don't worry.
Auschwitz.
Oh, was he right?
Oh,
okay. No, not Auschwitz. And I got that wrong.
The boy in the striped garment.
No, I put it wrong.
No, I don't know what you're talking about there.
Good sandwich, isn't it?
I can't believe I said Auschwitz.
No.
Apologies to anyone. Not Auschwitz. The disaster, the nuclear disaster. What's that one?
Oh,
Chernobyl.
He was in Chernobyl.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the miners digging underneath to get the water into it to keep it cold.
Brilliant.
And it was stark bollock naked in it.
He's
done
a
well.
good actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, South African by origin as well.
Is he really? Because
he was in the. I've done coach trip with Alex.
he came off Irish, didn't he?
Celebrity coach trip I've done with Alex.
Really?
Yeah. So I learned a lot about his career and his family. He's a good screen actor. I mean, he's done a few big features.
He was very good actor. Actually,
yeah, sticks by his guns as well.
Sorry, I digress. I don't.
And so that 1 to 10 is what Casey literally showcased to me and said, look, that's how I do it. And I sort of, you beg, borrow and steal when you're new to it all. But we were talking the other day and we had a fantastic story, Stephen, with the lovely Hilda Ogden and Stan Ogden's death and how Jean Alexandra, the actress, played it. And she basically thought about this.
Yeah, she did. It was just one of the best moments I've ever seen. And she was such an intelligent actress. I mean, I never got to meet her. Worked with her, I'd met her, but I never got to work with her. But when her husband passed in it, she never broke for about 3 months. So the audience must have been going, God, what is wrong with her?
That's a natural
They were
thing.
so close. They were so close.
Yeah.
And it just come out of nowhere. So it was like 3 months on, and she's singing away, doing, polishing up and stuff. And she just goes in the drawer, and there was his glasses.
Right.
And she picked his glasses up, and that's when she broke.
Oh.
And it was such a poignant moment. Clever, brave actors do that. In the scripts, a lot of the scripts go, he breaks down here. John always taught me, John Savardin, who taught me everything I know, he always said it's like blowing up a balloon. Just blow it.
Yeah.
And then when it's ready to bang, then you bang.
Yeah.
So, but keep them guessing. Have them shouting
Brilliant.
at the telly and going.
Yeah.
So
Why
do you
aren't
discuss that with the people writing the script?
You don't really have time, no. You don't really see it.
So they're relying on you when to
Basically,
show that emotion.
when I was there, so 5 writers would get 5 episodes. They wouldn't know. They'd all have a synopsis.
Right.
This is what I was aware of. This is what I got told. Then the following week, they wouldn't know. So you had to basically do your own continuity and do your own journey on your storyline. So there was the bit of, the new director's coming. Well, he breaks here, Stephen. I know, but I'm saving it till this episode because it'll just be too much crying every episode.
That's an extra level of acting, isn't it? Let's be honest, because
You have to
you go
think
to a
about
movie, they seem to regard movie stars up here and then you soap guys down here. Now, that's so wrong. And I remember Ross Kent kicking off once at an award ceremony saying how much harder it is to be a soap actor.
Yeah.
A movie guy, he's got a journey, but he hasn't got a journey that's so jumbled up and you're having to keep a note on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think one of the hardest things is, you look at the narrative of how a character, you've got to be infinitive as a character to take anything on board.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you put a blocker on something, you're actually kind of abusing the writer by saying, I don't think my character would do this.
Yeah.
So you as a person have to find a way of becoming the fool, the fop, the hard person. And that's our job, as it were, to take off the page what that writer has had a vision of when they've been doing that, all of it, So it's almost like, even if you play a weak character, you've got to have it in you that you then are the,
around
like Nigel.
Yeah.
Nigel used to be all funny, and then all of a sudden he smacked Phil in the face, didn't he?
I remember, and I had one of those moments, and Steve very graciously bowed down to that, and said, that's one of those things where it makes Gary look good.
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden that's the drama in it. An unexpected turn of events, which then the audience looks at and says, "Wow, good old Gary for doing that," because Phil's been having a fiddle up with Dawn or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
And so finding that, but I remember. Years ago, it was, and I wanted to be taken seriously, but there were too many people trying to be a gangster or a hard man on the soap, and there was too many people wearing black leather jackets in the Queen Vic sort of thing. And in the storyline, it was Mark Fowler's stag do, and Gary was organising the stag do, and he decided that everyone should come as their favourite fruit or vegetable, and I bags the banana, right? And I went, oh, really? Do I really have to dress up as a banana? Right? Do you know what I mean? I want to be taken seriously, Stephen. I want to be taken seriously. Anyhow, I said to Sean Williamson.
I always have a skinful now.
I said to Sean Williamson, he said, what's the matter? I said, oh, look, they've got me dressed up as a banana. He said, mate, the other week I was in stockings and suspenders. He goes, phone your bank manager, get a balance. And that's what I did. And I went, right, where's the banana?
Yeah.
Where's the banana outfit?
Yeah.
Get your head around it, you know? And then that was it. And then obviously we were entertainers at the end of the day. And that's what you credit to your ability to do that, you know?
It's almost like you have to have a double life. You have to have you as the person and then you as the character. And you have to still remember, oh, I'm married to this person. I did this. We've got this house. And you have to remember all those details for you to then go on set and go, right, I've got to leave me behind and step into Gary or Ashley and stuff like that.
A dual existence.
Yeah.
So,
almost.
Yeah, you guys played reasonably lovable characters, didn't you? You wasn't ever sort of dicey, maybe at times. It wasn't really arsehole. So did you get any abuse from the pub? Because some people will abuse you on like Dirty Den or someone like that. Probably got loads of crap in the street.
Not really.
But you were a lovable character
If
anyway.
you're the boy next door, the only thing is when you do that is everyone thinks you're approachable.
Oh.
Yes,
Where with baddies, they're a bit like, they leave me alone and think, if they talk to me, they might shout at me.
Yeah.
So they got left alone a bit more. Where if you play a nice catch, all right, how you doing, mate? You're like, all right, yeah, how are you? You know,
having your dinner going,
Where I worked at the time of you guys being on there was a security guard. He was from Yorkshire and he used to do a really good impression of you. Did you change your voice a little bit?
I did, yeah. I did that from the day one because I watched John and he was this big booming character.
And you wanted to be opposite,
Yeah, and Ashley was his YTS at first. He wasn't even his uncle. That got established. Then he was a soap for you. Then he ended up being my dad.
That's right.
But I wanted to bring something different to the character in terms of, well, he's this big booming character. And I was his YTS, like I was playing a 16-year-old. And, you know, it's your first job and you're small and you're weak and he's big and powerful. So I put the voice on. And that's when I spoke like that. So he was big and booming and I was...
Yeah, so you were playing a 16-year-old. How old were you actually?
About 20.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've not asked you this. Many a time sitting in the cold to Hull and back, as it were.
Yeah.
So you can do that voice just pretty much.
No, I can talk like it all day long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how'd you do that? Is it just go back like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, easy.
Is it? I caught him putting gravy granules in the bath. It's a northern
No, that's
thing,
clever. I say that's clever.
It's just the reason why I did that.
Yeah.
What an intelligent actor he was. The best I've ever worked with, John Sam. And everyone just thinks he did it off the cartoon. Was it Deputy Dog? I say.
Oh, like 70 Sam type.
He didn't research when Fred Elliott was born, what kind of job he'd have had, and in the cotton mills and all the noisy factories years ago.
Themselves.
And if you ever watch John doing his scenes, he always goes, I'll see it. Are you going for dinner this after? I say.
That's right.
And he used to mouth it because people couldn't hear each other. So that's why he put it in.
That's also a Les Dawson thing.
Yeah.
You know when he used to play that woman?
Yeah.
Give it all that. She used to finish the sentence. He used to finish, say she, but he used to finish the sentences by going, that's because the old Mills was coming in the way and they were mouthing the rest because it wasn't worth actually saying anything.
Yeah, and that's why John did that. And everyone just think it was a gimmick, but it wasn't.
You played that on stage, didn't you?
Pardon?
You played that on stage.
Yeah, I did Sissy and Ada. It was my first play after leaving that. I did.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sissy and
Played
Ada,
Cherrywood.
not parody, but parody of Les Dawson and Roy
Barraclough. Yeah, I played Terry Ravencroft that wrote all the stuff. It was interesting that actually, you know, learned a lot about Les's life and Roy's as well, and the writers. It's just that's why I love doing plays and doing it. You know, you learn so much if you like say you do a World War I play or shit. You learn something because you research what you're doing and what would it have been like then, and you know, put yourself into their shoes, and that's why I love doing plays now in different roles. I really enjoy doing that.
So both your characters on screen didn't have...
feel free to eat at
Yeah,
the same
please
time.
do. I'm not eating, so I'll ask the questions.
Go on.
Would you like some?
No, I'm good, thank you.
This is where we just all turn their back on Mike.
Just yeah.
I'm glad you said no.
Did you not bring anything with you, Rachel?
I have a salad.
All right. Go on, sorry.
So both of your characters do have quite dramatic storylines, but you're also quite comedic as well. What do you prefer to act? Do you like doing the serious stuff? Would you prefer to do the comedy? Or does that get really...
A bit of both, really. Everything in moderation, really. I mean, the serious storylines that I went through were quite... I mean, I tried to commit suicide as Gary. I think I got married twice. What else is there? And then, you know, in between it, I had then a wonderful partnership with Cliff Parisi. So they kind of the sort of Slater sisters disbanded slightly after Zoe went off, and then little Mo went, and then Jessie went, and Lynn went. So it was left literally what we're going to do with Ricky Groves, the actor playing Gary. And so that's when Cliff came in. Interestingly enough, Cliff was in 2 episodes of EastEnders before the character Minty as the landlord of what we used to call the Flea B&B. So if a character was really in dire straits, they'd go to the Flea B&B, like, and you see them and the curtains are all rotten.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did they give him a new character?
Yes, completely and utterly.
No, that happens a few times, doesn't it?
Happens all the time.
Yeah, and it's almost like he was really, really horrible. As the where's my rent, Janine, and all that, you know. And then all of a sudden he transforms into Minty, and so yeah, he's just a change of character, and then so we became like the odd couple, in a way, with that demographic. And when I first came into the square, it was really all about the sisters, and the exec producer at the time, John York, brought that family in. I think every exec producer has to bring a certain thing or an idea to the table. And his was the dynamics between 4 sisters that had lost their mother, but lived with their father and their grandmother, making a new life for themselves. And Gary was the boyfriend of the eldest sister, who actually fancied the younger sister, Kat. And so that was my little first storyline. And the dynamic with the sisters was, you know, where's my hairbrush? Da-da-da. And the long burning storyline, you're not my mother. Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
You know, that was the long burner, as they call it. So it's almost like an over-revealed secret over time sort of thing. So, yeah, and then that was extended my stay on the square, as it were, because of me and Minty, you know. But we were just social commentators as to other people's ills and woes, and liked the pub and worked in the Arches, and, you know, then it was back to teenage pregnancy.
I call it the C-3PO.
Right, cool.
C-3PO is narrating the Star Wars films. If you think about it.
Yeah, true enough, yeah.
And that's sort of what your role was in a way, wasn't it? Like you say, you were guiding stories, weren't you?
Well, every character would have an opinion of someone else. It's the gossip, isn't it? It's the jungle drums, as it were. Of, the issue is, you know, those moments when a character goes in the Rovers or the Vic, when everyone goes, oh, what we get, you know, they've just been bereaved, or for instance, she's teenage and she's pregnant. Yeah, everyone's got an opinion on it.
That's it. Yeah,
you know, and it's Dot Cotton.
Yeah,
lovely. June Brand no longer with us, but her religious side to it, you know, as you know, she'd always quote the Bible and stuff like that as a character. Pam St Clements would be probably teenage pregnancy. She's probably gone through it herself. As Pat would have gone, don't worry about it, love. Yeah. Happened to me back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
That's right, yeah.
And then obviously you'd have other people's opinions on it, like the father, Charlie Slater, would be like, I know what you people think, my daughter's not like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just everyone's opinion coming through, and the writers knowing that as well, what to rely on, what character to say what, or what, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's those little moments are great to play.
Were there any shockers for you when people were left? Like, I was going to suggest one, like Nigel's wife, but that is actually your ex-wife, isn't it? I'm not even trying to...
Nigel's wife?
What was Nigel's wife who died suddenly? Nigel.
That was Debbie. That was way before me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Debbie.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's probably way before I was born.
Really? Was it that long
Nigel
ago?
went on, I think the actor's name's Paul, isn't it?
I can't remember.
He went on to do Hobby City, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That was before you. I felt like that was arranged.
Well before me, yeah.
Really? She died suddenly, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right.
And then she brought round mugs with Rest in Peace, whatever her character's name was. Is there anyone that you're like, oh, God, I've just found out they're getting killed off and can't believe it. Can't believe they're doing that.
They're quite secretive about all that sort of stuff, really.
So have some of them been shocks for you when you're on set and they're going, oh, by the way, this is now going to happen? You're like, oh, my God.
Do you know what? Sometimes, I mean...
So I suppose you
do read the scripts. You speed read the scripts, and then most people, when they get their episodes, go straight to what the dialogue's about and what the storyline is. You've no need to see what's happening with Bradley and Lacey, or Stacey, sorry. You've no need to know what their little domestics about. And so you can use that to your advantage if they do make an announcement, and then it's more natural to just go, well, I didn't know that. Because I was lazy enough not to read the whole script.
Oh, right. Okay, perfect.
So sometimes that shock look is actually genuine.
Yeah. So what are they going on about? What are they talking about? I don't know. I have no idea. Because you wouldn't, would you? Why would you know? Because they're not going to say, look, this is what we just said. in the kitchen about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You're just going to go to your bit.
Oh, right.
So you both had that meeting about your last appearance.
Yes.
Do you want to delve into that? How did that feel?
Well,
did you know it was coming?
Stephen.
You go first, Steve.
I was made up, to be fair. I wasn't made. I knew it was coming, but I did want to be killed off.
You
I
did?
did, yeah. And I went up to see Phil Collins, and they said, look, the thing was for me, once John left, John Savidant, we was a partnership, and it wasn't quite the same for me then. I still enjoyed it. I had a fantastic time on Coronation Street. I really enjoyed all my years there. But I went for a meeting with him. He told me, Scott, I said to him, tell me you're killing me off, though. He said, yeah, you're going for the 40th anniversary live, which was great.
I was going to ask if that was live.
Yeah.
It was live. Have you done a live one?
Because they did do
Right,
a live
okay.
one, but I think
EastEnders, the anniversary one with their 52 cameras on it, that one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I've never done that.
Sorry, carry on, mate. Carry on.
So it was a fantastic exit, you know. It was just a great way to go. Shook hands, said all the best with it. And I think when you know you're going as well, you want to leave and you want to go as quick as you can. You like counting the months down then because you want to go and do new things. And
because how many months in advance did they tell you then?
Well,
or would you
5 months?
Really? You still got to work literally.
Yeah, you got time to get pants on and stuff. But yeah, it was mutual. I was happy with that, and they was happy with that. And I look back on that program with such fondness and such great memories. You know, I was gifted to work with John, Julia, and just to get the storylines I got, you know, and the chances that they give me there. It was a great learning curve doing a soap for such a long time. But yeah, when I was going, I said to myself, once I walk through these gates, I ain't coming back through. That's what was in my head, because I always think, if the character's closed down, you're not always thinking back, would I go back? Would I do it?
Yeah.
Where there's no way I would. There's no way I can.
Is that how you feel with yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that how you feel with yours?
No, mine was completely different, really. I mean, it was a case of they sort of run out of ideas for us. They weren't writing for me and Cara, who was Dawn Swan. So that was my squeeze. And it's funny enough, I was talking to Steve about this, but I never mentioned the boat that turned up, did I?
The narrowboat.
I said it was a little two-berth cruiser thing. That turned up one day. I remember seeing it there, and I thought, I wonder what that's about. And obviously, it was a catalyst to get me out to leave on the boat. And no one's ever left on the boat before.
I just assumed that was a narrowboat.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a little tiny little like a Shetland thing. They call it, don't they? And and so I remember seeing it one day, and then it moved, and there was a great big massive scenery dock set upstairs at Elstree, and you go in there, it's huge. It's a remnant of when they used to make the big movies there.
Right.
Huge, you know, vaulted ceilings with these huge. And it was up there, you know, they've got massive industrial lifts, and it's on a trailer, and they were doing it up, making it seaworthy. So they went to see the exec, and he said, like, you know, it's not really working. We're not going to. So me and Cara said, right, okay, we'll go then. We'll go and we'll go out on a high. And they gave me the sad music.
Yeah, the piano EastEnders and violin.
It's called Julia's theme now.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
do you know what? A little known fact is as well. There's also a barrel organ version of EastEnders music that's never been used.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I met the guy who actually done the theme tune, and he said they've never used the barrel organ version. It was meant to be old East End sort of thing. But the Julia's theme's the slow build, sad one. So they gave me that while I sailed off down the river. And only other one person, they got on a ferry to leave, but you never saw them on the ferry. So I'm quite pleased that I'm the only person who's ever left.
What's the slow exit?
was ever left on a boat, you know, to this day. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased about that.
What we're saying with Steve, he knows there's a cut-off. But with you...
Well, do you know what? It's in some ways, people do... They always ask you, don't they? Because they don't remember sometimes. Did they kill you off? They say, did they kill you off?
I'm not being funny. I had to research if you were killed off. You know?
Yeah, but it's memories lasting memory. Unless you're a super fan, you know what I mean? You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
but
I had a feeling you was, but I had to double check.
It's an opening gambit of people that know you. They go, oh, it's Gary off EastEnders. And it's almost like a question that they can ask because they feel as if they can say something towards it. They say, oh, you can go back then. You can go. So there ain't a day goes by or a week goes by without someone saying, did they kill you off and would you go back?
Yeah.
And I always say, yeah, don't think I've ever burnt my bridges. And it would be nice to open up a little chapter of Gary again and to see what he's been doing with Dawn, or if he comes back with kids, or, you know, and so I would go back and do a little bit, if not to raise profile and to see what it's like there now.
Yeah.
Apparently it's all changed, but that's life. It goes on. It's organic.
Changed.
It moves on.
Because usually there was a funeral, wasn't there, that a lot of them turned up to recently. Whose funeral was that? Dot's?
June Brown passed away.
I say
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
It's probably about 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it?
This is it. The time goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The sword of time has pierced our skin.
Right. Brilliant. So what was I going to say? You said write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. He was your father-in-law,
My
wasn't he?
father-in-law, Dennis. Yeah, God rest his soul.
I
passed
used to,
away.
as a kid, I don't know, I'd be 8, and my mum worked in a bingo hall. My dad used to have to go and pick her up of an evening, and we should have been in bed. I had to be lookout while my eldest sister watched like Minder. She fancied the hell out of Dennis Walker. And he opened up Debenhams in Gravesend. I think that got her through puberty. That did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was a nice guy, was he, Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, what a talent. I mean, he was. I think it was 4 sisters, and then there was his older brother Peter, who tragically died in a boxing match. He was mismatched it was a European title.
Really?
Yeah. And Dennis, because the girls went on to be Bluebell girls in Paris reviews and stuff like that, they were all very dramatic. And so they put Dennis through a stage school called Corona. He went to Corona, funny enough, with Richard O'Sullivan and that. And so Dennis, even though born got the boxing from his brother, and so hard, tough upbringing in Battersea, and then, you know, he went on to become like a child protege, much like you, Stephen, in a way, you know, picked out of obscurity, but because he was talented enough to have a rough upbringing about him, he'd always get the Artful Dodger role.
Yeah.
But he got success with, there was back in the 60s, there was a American-produced thing that was all to do with an English boy living with an American family and an American girl living with an English family, like an exchange thing.
Yeah.
So the comedy and the differences were there with the different cultures, you see.
Right, yeah.
So they filmed that in Hollywood. So he was in Hollywood when he was 8.
Really?
Under a trust fund. It was the original Just William.
Right.
I mean, you look at, like, there's that 60s kitchen sink drama, like Edward Bond Saved. It's in the list at the National Theatre, Dennis Walkman. And that was quite dramatic for its time, is throwing stones at the baby in the pram and all that, you know. Film like Up the Junction, which was the original, that means where Squeeze got the name from, is that film Up the Junction. All about that sort of pregnancy before the pill and stuff.
Yeah.
Post-war Britain bomb site tear-ups. He was the last person to kill Christopher Lee as Dracula in The Scars of Dracula.
Was he really?
Yeah, and he went on and on and on. The career went on, stage work, you know, you name it. And he always wanted to be a singer, so he released 3 or 4 albums, Dennis under the title, Upwind of Angels and stuff like that. He had his own special at one stage on ITV, the Dennis Walkman special, you know, guitar with Joe Brown and Willie Rushton back in those days. And then obviously the Sweeney, and the story behind the Sweeney goes that John Thor was picked as Reagan. That was the pilot for the Sweeney, Euston, I think it was Euston, or I can't remember the name of the company now. But and then he said, this is ridiculous because I've got all the dialogue. I want to, and then he very kindly said to Dennis, because Dennis was then Sergeant Carter,
right?
You take some of this as well, because that's how it would be.
Yeah.
That is how it would be. But some of the stories back then, it was guerrilla filming at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, when the sun's just coming out on these disused places.
Yeah,
they said sometimes they used to cut the padlocks off places, open it up, because they were just bomb sites. You know?
Yeah.
And rag these full consoles around and do handbrake turns.
Well,
And,
I remember a scene where they just both tried to get capris as close as they could together, break them, break.
I think that might have been the professionals.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think that's the professionals. They then get out and go, oh, not bad.
That's right, it was a professional.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Somehow I've merged professionals and Sweeney together.
Right, because of the cardboard boxes they used to knock over.
Through the alleyways.
So that was obviously the Sweeney. That was 53 episodes. And then back then it was unheard of that a cop show, and this was the breaking thing about it, sometimes they didn't get the villain.
Oh,
Right.
Before then, Dixon and Doc Green and all the
Always
cop
got 'em.
shows
Yeah.
always got the villain. But
Right.
with this one, sometimes they got away.
Got away, yeah.
And then obviously after that, then because of his popularity, the Sweeney sort of demised. Minder came along. So that was Dennis's drive for mind. With him being a very talented singer, and he then got the idea of I Can Be So Good For You by a group called Kenny.
Right.
And then Dennis's second wife, Patricia Maynard, which was Hannah's mother,
Right.
my old mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She came up with the title "I Could Be So Good For You," and then it just developed off of that.
It's a classic song though.
Yeah,
Even if it's not a theme tune, it's a bloody good song.
Yeah. And then so that went on and done that. I mean, they've done 2 films of the Sweeney as well. That was popular back in the day. You know, when them movies in the 70s, when like On the Buses or Are You Being Served was popular. They do a Holiday on the Buses or Are You Being Served Abroad. It was almost in the carry-on genre of that era.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously that Sing the Theme Tune thing that was Little Britain picked up on with Matt Lucas and David Williams.
Did he care about it?
No, they met him at a BBC party.
Of course, he was in one of the scenes, wasn't
he? They said, "Oh, he's smaller than what he's in real life." So that's where he became the little tiny
hand of pencil, and he'd be grabbing it like
all that business. And then he came on the live tour of Little Britain. He came on and went, "Oi, what's all this about?" You know, and it's the real Dennis Waterman.
Yeah.
But then it just because of the revenue stream that the music brought into it, he then put into contract. Like for new tricks, that Dennis is doing the theme tune.
Really? Oh, right. So he did.
Well, it's clever business. You see. Clever business.
Did he ever give you any advice, acting advice, or anything like that?
No, really, not really so much as to say that it was just a question of this is my father-in-law and I'm marrying your daughter type thing. It was we never really discussed soaps or anything.
No.
I was more. Sometimes the rest of them would go to bed and me and him would sit having a drink late at night, and I'd say, "What was that like?" And he'd be open and honest and tell me about it. He never he enjoyed me talking to him about the past as much as what he was interested in the future for the soaps and all that sort of thing.
Brilliant.
A lot of characters.
Excellent.
So you guys have obviously worked a lot, and how is it behind the scenes then? Because was there a lot of waiting around for your part, or did they just call you in and say, "Right, okay, we've got half hour to film yours"? And then you're done for the day, or how was it behind the scenes? Was there a lot of waiting around?
It was so well organised. It has to be. If you do a soap, everything's got to be meticulous because it's that fast. So you get a schedule for everything, what time you're on, like estimated scene time for the next one. So, and roughly how long it's going to take for each one. So behind the scenes, the crew works so hard. They're there before anybody, and and they finish later than anyone. But it's just what I found was when I left Coronation Street after being there for such a long time was how professional they was when you went on other jobs.
Right.
You just phoning up like doing a film. What's my call time tomorrow? I've not got a clue.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll let you know at 1 a.m. You're like, well, don't stay up till that. So it was just really, really professional.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. I mean, a lot of the crew. Some of the crew members that were there when I were there had been there 45 years.
Wow.
They'd been there all their life. They'd seen everyone come and go.
Yeah.
So they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Really good crew we had. So everything was really well organised.
And was there is there anything that sticks in your mind that you think, oh God, I really messed that up? Or do you watch yourself as well?
Not really, no. No. I did it first. I mean, all the family was excited and stuff. But I think if you've done 12 hours there a day,
you don't want to watch it.
It's like fitting windows at home. You're a window fitter. You don't want to come home and do some more. I just tried to get away from it because it was just constant. Everyone, what's happening to her? If you went any pub or a restaurant, everyone was asking questions. So you always try to finish work, done, forget about it, cut it off.
Did it drive you insane, people constantly asking you?
You got used to it. I think what I found, especially doing stuff like this, because I live in a little village in Wales and I don't get...
Yeah, North Wales, you say?
Yeah, I don't get
That's
any.
one of our favourite holidays. We've been all around the world. North Wales is beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But you don't get any hassle. It's when I come back to Manchester or you think, oh God, I was in that show. You do forget about it. And then you think, God, how did I put up with that for...
Yeah.
But you don't realise when you're there, it just comes past.
I imagine the voice, you could hear the voice being shouted at you quite a bit, couldn't you?
You get a say, and have you got any sausages quite a lot? We get all that.
Can you fix my car?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Say, I've got a hammer. I'll fix it for you.
Am I right in saying you became a butcher for a bit afterwards? Is that right?
No.
Do you know what the internet said that?
Oh no, honestly, I did. I used to open a lot of butcher shops.
Right. Okay.
So I opened bloke called Bennett Butchers 10 years ago, and he opened the shop for me in Leeds. So it was his 10-year anniversary. So he asked me to go back 10 years on. So I went back, and he phoned me up on the Monday, and he said, Steve, I've not said anything. I've just put it on Facebook. You've been. I said, it's not what are you talking about? He said, it's all over the papers that you're a butcher. So I said, right.
Still on there, mate. Still on there.
But funny enough, the week before, I was doing like a wrestling match in Manchester, me and my friend Bruce Jones, and it was a bit of fun. We got in the ring with the wrestlers. So the week before was a wrestler, and the following week I was a butcher. So you just think, let him just... the amount of phone calls we got. But Phil said to me, Steve said, we've got to strike while the iron's hot. He said, everyone keeps phoning the shop saying you're actually working here. They want to come in and see you and stuff. I said, well, I'm not. He said, but I do these videos where you come back and do a video. So I did. I went back and did it. But absolutely not.
So you did a bit of wrestling as well then?
No, not wrestling. Basically, it's like a bit of an act. I've done a couple of these where Bruce Jones that used to play Les Battersby.
Yes.
He's got one tag team. I come in with another. And we have a bit of banter in the ring. And then the lads go in and wrestle.
Right,
So
okay.
Celebrity managers.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Sorry, I'm jumping right back now. Talking about lovely endings. His ending. Was it Les Battersby's ending? Was it Les? God, I'm crap at this.
What was his ending? Don't know.
Where his wife was there. She had already passed.
Oh, that was Billy and Tammy. Bill Tammy and Elizabeth
what
Dawn.
was his character's name? Sorry.
Jack and Vera.
Jack and Vera, sorry,
Yeah.
Les Battersby.
Yeah.
Jack and Vera. I thought that was beautifully
It
done.
was beautiful. They got best exit for that.
It's very rare that you, like in a soap, you would bring a ghost back. Type thing.
It was really, really good writing, I thought, and it was a really nice moment when they both got up and danced.
That was beautiful ending.
It was lovely, and they were such great people, Elizabeth and William.
They passed quite soon after. Or one of them did at least.
They both retired, and they both. God bless them, but they were lovely, lovely people.
Yeah,
really, very, very good at what they did.
Yeah.
They were great comedy act together.
They were brilliant.
Fantastic
It
together.
was the old yellow and blue bricked house as well, wasn't it?
That's it.
I've got to tell the little story. I'm sure it'll be all right. The lovely man you said that he wrote his lines on his cap.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to listen to this one. This is a
Bill Waddington that played Percy Sugden. I mean, I'd not been there long, and he always used to wear a flat cap. And it's really hot this day. So he was getting on, he was 80-odd. So he used to write his lines, put them on a piece of paper and put them in his cap. So we're doing this scene, and his cap comes off. I think he's lost his lines there, so he's looking down. And as I looks up, I just burst out laughing. Cut, what are you laughing at, Stephen? What's funny? And he went, what are you laughing at, young man? I said, William said, all the lines are printed on your head. And Alex just fell about. Oh, right. But it was good fun.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
just
that
like
story.
there's loads of people, on bear mats and stuff, because you're working at such a pace, and people get to a certain age, you don't learn them as quickly as you used to. I mean, I'm like that now.
God, my memories are terrible.
There was many a time that I can remember just that, because I used to ask for the scripts in A5 and just literally have that, or take that scene out. It's a Vic scene. If it's not a big scene and you've only got a couple of lines, a bit of interaction, what we then used to do was just look at it, and then if you ran it sort of a quick record session, you'd then see where you'd fit it in. So you'd go, if I come to that camera there, I can do that line across there to Ian. That was it. But rather than sort of, must learn this, just find a way of doing it there and then, but then just get the paper away and off you go. A couple of lines here and a line there, and then you let it flow a bit for it.
I suppose they want too much. They want that stickly about saying exactly what was written down, were they? As long as you had were they?
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare to the beginning of anyone who comes into that show would not necessarily be allowed to change anything, because there can be a significance in the wording of what they've said. Because
very true,
I've seen it before, and I've seen direct cuts where the word has been repeated in the next scene by saying talking about the same problem. So if you were to change it, for instance, then that might upset the flow of it in the next scene. But no, I mean, one of the best thing I've seen is Rudolph Walker, lovely Rudolph Walker. He's got the keys to Trinidad and Tobago, you know, from Love Thy Neighbour all the way through the 70s. He's been a staple West Indian black actor, you know, and fantastic at it. And I remember one day it was talking about Sonia, and he's like this, oh no man, it's like, no, this is not right. It's like, the director's there and he says, well, and it said something like in this script, it said, don't worry, Sonia, I'll go and have a word with Dot and then I will sort this problem out for you and I'll speak to you later. And he went, oh no, me not say that. No, me not say that. And it just translates it out and he went, don't worry, son, I'll go see if I can sort it. Done. Done. That was where he would say it. Yeah. I'll go see if I can sort it. Yeah. And that's it. You know, that's the key to that sort of...
Definitely.
So the writers would be... I mean, you know, a couple of times there'd be a silence. So I'd try and create something and say to the director, look, can I put this in? And they go, well, how would it work? And I said, I'll show you. So Shirley and Heather would come into the pub. They go, oh, look, we've got a couple of angels with us. Like that. And they go, oh, like that. And they go, yeah, hell's angels. You know? And so it would be like little things like that to just try and make it a little bit more a comical moment.
Banter and a bit.
Banter as such.
I always found, I only really watched both soaps around your eras, really. And before, I stopped over 10 years ago. She went on to EastEnders a bit longer before I talked her out of it.
Yeah. I've never seen half the stuff I've done. I've never seen it.
But I always found Coronation Street to have a bit more comedy in it.
There was a
than EastEnders. Awards nights. Yes. So you see each other. You obviously you must have brushed each other's souls.
It's incredible. We've never actually spoke, isn't it? No. Until now, it's but yeah, you do. And us at Granada, I mean, there was always this massive rivalry in the press all the time. EastEnders versus Coronation Street.
Yeah. They like a bit.
I mean, Emmerdale's winning everything now, apparently. Yeah. But there was always that thing, but. We never felt that.
No.
I don't know if you did, but we never felt it. It was like, if they win it, they win it. It was never...
And where's he gone?
He's gone in the kitchen.
But yeah, you never...
No.
You never felt that. But,
so you never had Bill Roach have a kick-off with something? No, I know. No. I like the way they merged them once. Do you remember? And they was all bragging about whose husbands had died the most when it came
Children in Need episodes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I've never seen
I think they did it for like comic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always done those sort of things.
Yeah.
And it's a popular thing. I think the rivalry's there via the
press.
Just the press. Yeah. And it was almost like there's nothing else to write about. Let's write that, EastEnders is in trouble because there's not getting as many views as they used to. Coronation Street's in trouble because it might be losing its advertising from Cadbury's, you know.
I think both sorts are good for each other because Corrie was up there all the time.
Yeah.
EastEnders come along and really challenged it and challenged it well. So for the writers and the actors, everybody up the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
definitely.
You look at it, it's like whether it's EastEnders, whether it's in Emmerdale, whether it's in Crossroads, whether it's in Hollyoaks, whether it's in Coronation Street, you're just actors doing the job.
Yeah.
That's it. You're going in and working. That's it. There's no like, they did it like this. Or you don't even think about it. You've got too much on your mind. It's just get your storylines done.
Yeah.
Learn your lines and do your job. Yeah. So I had respect for other actors in other soaps because they were doing exactly what we were doing, just somewhere else.
You had so much in common. That's the thing. You know, it's a bit like East Coast, West Coast with rappers, isn't it? That was all. That was all through press.
Yeah.
They started fighting and shooting and killing each other just based on press saying, these ain't these ain't these.
Yeah.
When they actually sat down and chatted, they realised
nothing.
There was nothing there.
Load of drivel. Yeah.
So how was the transaction? Now you've both left your soaps. How was the transaction from going from soap actors to almost a normal life? Did you enjoy that?
It always follows you around, and I'm glad it does because you meet a hell of a lot of nice people. You get the odd idiot, but nothing we can't handle after the amount of time that we've put in to kill people with kindness and just move along sometimes, you know. Very often or not, if we see the other person in trouble with someone being a bit of a pest, what we used to do is go, sorry about this, can I just... And you drag them away from that person because you could see that they need your assistance.
Someone's on the phone,
and we practice that really, but we don't do it all the time. But I done it the other day, didn't I? I went, can I borrow you a minute? Not because someone was on your case. I can't remember who it was now.
But leaving, I mean, the transaction, it's going back to that. It's like you just go with it, you know. It's for me personally when when I left, it was like, wow, I don't have to learn lines every day.
Yeah, it's a job.
And I started doing plays then and experimenting in different roles I'd never done before. So you never had really time to think about it. And over the years, I mean, I probably get recognised 5% of what I used to.
Yes.
So it does.
Yeah.
It does die out. It's always there. It's always there. But I get mixed up. Did I used to play football? Were you in the army or? Did you go to school? You get that a lot now.
Yeah.
But you do get recognised depending on where you are. But
who did you?
And it's the generation thing, isn't it? Because I know, like, my daughter knows you personally from Strictly Come Dancing.
Well, there you go.
And I said to her, I remember him as EastEnders, you know. And she's like, okay. Because she didn't know.
Like Doctor Who, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I sometimes people what character did you play in EastEnders? And over the years I've gone, oh, don't you remember me? I was Derek the Saddle Sniffer. They go, and a few people go, oh yeah, Derek the Saddle Sniffer. Do you know what I mean? It's like it just came from nowhere. It came from left field, and just say, no, I'm only joking. After the say, but if they don't get the joke straight away, they do go, oh, they don't. Derek the Saddle.
Yeah.
And so Gary Hobbs, you know, that sort of thing. But it is, like I say, that transitional period is quite.
It's that getting used to not being and not seeing. The only thing I ever missed was the green room and the crack.
Yeah.
All the lads together. Yeah. You know, the same lads, and there was a group of us that all grew up together. Yeah. Like from 20 up to 35.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we went on all of this together and stuff, and going on different jobs and working with different people was brilliant. But it was hard just shaking that off and doing something else. I mean, my first job on stage, what I found really difficult was retaining lines.
Oh,
because you learn lines, you get rid of them, learn the next day.
Batch lines, but you learn them almost, can't you?
Also, when you're on TV, this was what happened with me. I stood still all the time because on TV, obviously, you stand and you keep still for the camera, and I wasn't using the stage.
Yes.
And I was standing a lot, and so it looked wooden. I was talking like that.
Yeah.
And Dad said, "You've got all the stage, use it." But it felt weird shaking that out of my system from going to TV work to theatre work. Yeah. And now, you just do everything. I'm more used to that than filming now. So it's that changing it, and obviously being a lot bigger on stage and projecting. You know, that's the biggest thing I had to get used to.
So is that what you like to do now?
I absolutely love it. I'm not bothered if I don't do TV again at the minute. I just love doing stage work.
What would you like to do? Some
West End?
Yeah.
I've done loads. I've done about 60 jobs since I've left stage wise. You know, I've been fortunate to do like Shakespeare and plays like the Atkinson Pals. I've did a 200 Kes, all the two Broken Strings, Concrete Boots. I've done low Charlie Chaplin's story. You know, I've been really, really, really lucky and very fortunate to work, and I've got loads coming up, which is great. But I just love being someone different. Yeah, and I love multi-rolling as well. I mean, some plays you play 8 characters. Yeah, and I just love doing that.
Do you get nervous at all?
No, if I've had enough rehearsal time, no, I'm absolutely fine. It's not nerves with me. You get that little butterfly in your belly, but once you're on, you're fine. You're here now. You just think, I'm here. If it goes wrong, just go with it. But that's only with experience. The first time I went on stage, I was shaking from head to toe. I mean, really nervous.
And considering your past as well, you would have thought you've been used to it, but it's completely different.
But it wasn't. You had an audience, and it was completely different to working with crew members that you worked with for 16 years. Yeah. And it was going out, and you had a massive audience in front of you, and it was like, wow, this is different. And people are talking. Yeah. Well, you know, that weren't happening when you feel like, it felt like going to your mind. Try and remember the words here.
So the live one, I bet that took a lot more work.
I didn't actually do I did the 40th live, so we did the 40th anniversary. I did that one. My character got carried out, so I died. Well, I got crushed the episode before. Right. And then my body got carried out on the live, so I didn't actually do the live.
Wicked.
But the character went
just sat back and watched it, did you?
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Never seen it.
So when you got carried away, you just went home?
I've never seen me bit where I died. Only when I've done interviews and they've shown clips. I've never seen the episode.
Is it because you don't want to see it, you die, or because Rachel's dad loves what's it called? Inspector Morse, and he refuses to see the one where he dies.
Yeah.
And I always try and catch him out.
It doesn't bother me that watching that. I don't know. It's just you just cringe when you watch yourself a bit. I think. It's just yeah.
I say I haven't seen half the stuff I've done. I was always
I'm saying.
My mum was. We're on vintage now, aren't we? We're vintage EastEnders, vintage Coronation Street. And my mum seems to have, she's caught up on. I think it's BBC Drama Channel, or one of the Drama Channel. I don't think it's BBC. Doing the reruns of it, and I watched one the other day. It was because it was. I was just flicking through, and it was on. I went, I have no idea. I can't remember anything about it. And then all of a sudden, there I'm in the E20 club getting squirted with a fire extinguisher.
And you don't remember? And it's not as if it's just a line. It's actually you're being sprayed with something.
Yeah, I do and I don't, if you know what I mean. But I don't, it's like when you fell in a puddle or when you tripped over a curb, you kind of go, I did trip over a curb, but I can't remember the rest of the day.
Context,
Or it's like, do you remember that report you put in 3 years ago? Do you remember what it was titled? And you're like, no, why would I? Because that's our job, isn't it?
That stuff I would expect him to forget. But like being sprayed by something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's because the week before I was dressed as a banana. Do you know what I mean? And then the week before that, something fell on my head. The week before that, nearly got run over. Then I nearly committed suicide. Then it's all things like that, really. But no, it was it's interesting because like I say, it's a job that you sort of go. Well, like I say, back then there was only the video recorder, and it was like no catch-up TV or any Sky Plus and all that. There was just that.
You either watched it at the time,
or you didn't.
Or you didn't, Or you could record it, but I don't. I'm going to go out and buy a load of me and self-indulgent all I'm on tonight or something. You know what I mean? Didn't bother with that. No.
So, who is the best person you've ever worked with on the soap or off?
Well, we know yours.
Yeah, mine's definitely John.
Yeah,
with no question about it. He was just an absolute genius.
Was he in Kes? Am I thinking?
No, he wasn't.
He was in something.
He did Waterloo. He did Gandhi. He was originally
Gandhi, did he?
Yeah, he was originally Phantom of the Opera, original cast member.
Oh, was he?
He did the stuff he did, but it was so unselfish. And I mean, talking about changing scenes earlier on when you asked Ricky about changes, me and John used to have scenes where we argued, and we just turn it on its head.
Yeah.
And do the scene laughing, doing it, having a joke. The writers be like, "Oh, I've never seen that," but they'd have it as a row where we'd do it, and John would go in. I mean, a lot of people just went in and did the lines, and when I first started with John, I used to be up all night learning my lines. He'd walk in and he'd say, "Oh dear heart, bit of a suggestion. So I've changed this, so that's your paragraph now," and don't say that. It's
so where's
terrible.
he from?
Yeah. He's from Guernsey.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it's Guernsey. He come over on a boat. Basically, paddled over with his mum and like just for the walk. He come across.
Wow.
And but he used to change it all the time, and no one argued with him.
No,
because it was that he knew what he was doing. It was always for the best and the good of the scene. But yet, John for me, he was just absolute god, and he was a really good mate. We were so close. We had a really good friendship. I miss him. I do.
And you went to his funeral and
the 22nd of March. We buried him this year. Yeah. Taught me everything I know, that man. Yeah.
So, Ricky.
Oh, I'd say, I would say Steve McFadden, because obviously working closely with him, but I learnt the discipline off him. I could see the discipline of coming on, and then he used to bring on a whole 3 episodes of scripts just in case there was any discrepancy, because he'd go, stop it, and just go.
Really?
To go back to something, just in case.
Yeah.
So it weren't just walking on with a piece of paper. It was like, well, if he wanted to put something across, then he'd turn around to a director or whatever, because the director wouldn't know what. Yeah. They're only doing the 3 episodes that they've been tasked to do. Yeah. They might not have seen the 3 episodes previously, whereas Steve would pointedly point out things that would sort of, if it was any, but 99 times out of 100, he would never need to do that. But he had it all the same. And but very much so, like, like when you get called to do a scene, you're up next, just be really ready. So you're bang on it, because obviously there's a time limit for everything. And some people, they'd be in their dressing room or whatever, and they'd go, they'd get a phone call, just get ready, you're about to go on in a minute, but they'd still stay in the dressing room. And then that 3 or 4 minutes it takes to get from there to there is then lost. I mean, I know the crew sometimes have got a de-rig to move along, but 9 times out of 10, if it's in the same area, it would only be a little short move, or a camera would just readjust for something, and yet that 3 minutes they're not there. But Steve was always literally watching the film being seen before being in the next film, that sort of thing. And I'd say June Brown as well, just because of her quirkiness and just her attitude towards it. Who else? Lots of them, really. I mean, when I first started on EastEnders, Martin Kemp, Spandau Ballet, I had to shadow him for a week.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I was sort of like, this is weird. It's like, I'm just like looking at him like going, and I'm
he's getting blown up in cars.
This is Ricky's top 10 now. We've gone from Steve, he's going through his top 10.
Let me check, see if I've got enough memory.
You had that close one. I didn't really have any close one. I mean, me and Cliff, but I mean, by then.
5. Give us another 5.
Do you still keep in touch with
Cliff? You call the midwife. He's done well there. But no, lots of things you learn from different people is what I'm saying. And then there's you.
Bless you.
When you're doing because you've both had sad scenes and dramatic things as well. When you're doing that, do you have to almost go home and sort of de-energise almost, because you've got all this built up depression or anger or whatever you've got, and then you've just
your missus was murdered, wasn't she?
Yeah, I had a lot of emotional storylines, a lot of them, and just after, especially when Tracy's character died, Maxine, I'd never lost anyone close to me at that time in my life, so you have to draw on what I drew on seeing my friends that had lost a mum and what they went through, and I tried to do that journey in my head. And the thing is, you've got to believe it in your head to do it. But once you finish filming, you've just got to go cut off, go home, and just get yourself. What I used to do with scenes like that, I used to go up in my dressing room and just sit on my own and not speak to anybody. And then come down, walk on set, and everyone knew that, if there were dramatic scenes, the crew were that experienced enough just to leave you there, just to let you have the 2 minutes before you went on, and then do it.
Right.
And then, if obviously you've got another scene after that and another scene, so it can be quite draining at the end of the day. You feel emotionally tired and stuff because you're putting your worst thoughts in your mind are going through your head as you're saying your lines. You're thinking like someone hurting your mum, or you're thinking about all these things. But you just have to switch off, though. It's important, because I was one of them, when I finished work, I always had to switch off. I didn't want to do anything to do with work. I just wanted to switch off, take my dogs for a walk and be myself. I think it's really important you do that. I think it's really important when all you're doing is talking about Coronation Street or EastEnders all the time. It's like, come on, all right, I've got to go and do something different here.
Of course.
I think on the journey on the way home, me sometimes used to go, do you know what? I should have done it that way. I used to suffer from that a lot.
Mate, I do that. I still do that. We've been married 12 years. I still do that with my speech.
Should have done it that way.
Next time I get married, I'm going to do it.
I don't mind. It won't be to each other, don't worry.
But I used to sort of, I used to do, when I moved out to Cambridge, I was 52 miles each journey, so 52 there, 52 back.
So you were in Cambridge when you was doing EastEnders?
I done a 104-mile trip daily to get there. 104 miles a day.
What's wrong with you?
But I suppose that
I just moved away from London to get away from it. Like,
But that could be a good thing, because you're processing everything and letting it out. So when you're home, you're then
of course,
right?
That's right. But it was very much, and I always wanted to live in the countryside rather than urban sort of thing. And it was a breath of fresh air moving out that way.
Yeah. You need that space. It's like you do.
You were in Wales when you were in there?
No, I was living in Warrington, where I'm from. So that was 18 miles away.
Okay.
So it's like 25 minutes to get home.
Yeah.
But even just what I did, because I like going out with sociable and stuff. What I found good was I built like a little bar at the back of my house. So I just had my mates down, so you wasn't going out.
Yeah.
Everyone know what's happened with her and all that. So you could just have a game of pool and just chat with mate and watch football. And just have,
What are you, a City fan or
Man U.
Man U,
United,
yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all little things that you do like that, you know, just to get away from it sometimes. But it's all good because, you know, I wouldn't get the work I'm getting now only because of that show. I mean, it's each person's their own. I mean, people love it and they like going out and do the celebrity stuff and all this. And other people just go, I finished work for the day, I'll go and do. I mean, I used to go and add a miracle bar at home. And
Don't get caught in the web.
That's it.
Don't get caught in the web.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Right, let's talk about what you've got coming up then. So where are you? Because this is coming out Monday.
Okay.
So
Right.
you'll be
Yeah,
out
well,
next
we're
week.
still doing a little double act, a 2-man show around Park Holidays, aren't we? And
We'll finish on Monday.
We finish
Yeah.
on Monday, so we'd have done it by then.
Oh, so you're done?
We're done by them. 19 shows.
Done, yeah.
Oh, that's
And we kind of everything in the industry is a little bit beg, borrow, and steal a bit, and we've stolen a little bit of Cannon and Ball,
Fair enough, yeah.
and we do a little bit of a very much a bit of pantomime, a couple of songs, and we get involved with the audience, as it were. We get them up singing. We try to do a bit of old fashioned entertainment, as it were. It used to be a bit of variety, and we've been enjoying doing that. So
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I forgot to mention celebrity soccer. Still involved with the celebrity
soccer, yeah, still doing the celebrity soccer. I think we go over to Dubai later on this year.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I think they're opening something up over there, and so he's just putting it all together. And that's been good. Like I say, we've been. I've been doing the crowds and stuff, and that's another sort of a strength of learning about how to do something when it's en masse. 1,500 people or whatever, with half of them not listening, but having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's and I do the celebrity lookalike competition.
Yes, of course you do.
You're the bloke from Up.
Yes,
aren't
of
you?
course. I am,
You know what?
yeah.
It was his.
If I win chocolate, I'm happy, mate.
I know. There you go. That's how it
It was
works.
his 50th a few weeks ago, so made him got someone to make him a really nice birthday cake, and then thought, I'll take the piss out of him. So I got cookies and biscuits
All
made
up.
up with the Up guy.
Oh, did you?
My mate bought me the walking stick with the 4 tennis
Yeah.
balls on it.
Really?
Loads of balloons hanging off of it. Pricks.
I love it.
No, don't bother me.
So you've got a lot on, Stephen.
Yeah,
Go on then,
I've finished this to go on tour with a play called Doing the Magic, a new play by a writer called David Spicer. We've done 3, they're all called Doing, so we've done one called Doing Shakespeare, Doing Who Done It, and Doing the Dead. And we do one each year, we're doing 6 on total.
Okay, is it a tour?
Yeah, we tour the country with that. Finished that, then into pantomime, which I'm doing in Heywood, in
Right.
Manchester. And
Yeah.
then I'll go on to another play called in Liverpool, No Sex Please with British.
All right.
I'm doing Peter Pan after that, playing Hook, and then I'm doing Bouncers then.
Book.
After that,
Bouncers.
the John Godber play.
Right.
Yeah.
Wicked.
So I put myself up. I love doing the theatre, and like I say, different roles. It's nice. Nice to have stuff in the diary. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
No.
Whereas I don't open my curtains in the morning because I have nothing to do in the afternoon.
Yeah, very lucky though. I'm looking for. I've got a few weeks off before I start.
Yeah.
So, but I should get a script next week for this new one. So, hopefully, touch wood, it's a good play, and we have some fun doing it.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Right. What we asked you guys now is to pick a song. We've got a playlist. Pick a song that's relevant to you or something, anything you want.
Well, do you know what? Because they've just reformed, or they've talked about reforming next
there you
year.
go.
We both love Oasis.
Yeah.
What would you go for?
I'm going to go for, because of this tour, Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah,
I sing it in the. I sing it.
You can have your own. You can have your own, Rick.
Used to love Slide Away.
I love Slide Away.
There's not many Oasis songs that ain't good.
No, exactly.
I like even round Our Way.
It's round that. Yeah, I love Master Plan.
Yeah, I love Master
Master
Plan.
Plan's one of my favourites.
Well,
and
this goes
Rocking
well,
Chair. And,
Yeah, they're all amazing.
yeah, B-side records are brilliant with them. But I'm just so pleased they're back. I wish them all the best. Good luck, lads. If you ever see this.
All around the world.
Yeah.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Love
But because
that.
we sing it in the show,
Honestly,
Don't
that's a
Look Back
very
in
good
Anger.
song.
Yeah, Don't Look Back in
thank
I
you.
do a lot. My band play a lot of the ones that you expect, like Don't Look Back in Anger. Yeah, we play Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
I think we've played Master Plan before. Yeah. You know what it's like.
You know what it's like,
Yeah, it's
Rachel.
like-
You know what it's like, Rachel.
If you want to get the audience going, you start playing an Oasis song. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
Totally.
Or
Yes.
Park Life, which we
Yeah.
don't, well,
Yeah. That's why we've involved them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Fellas,
thank you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to meet you,
Mate,
Steve.
Simon, you've been lovely. Thanks ever so much for having me.
Simon, thank you.
Known you now 3 years.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Since he did a bit of filming for me in a comedy I did. It's called The Tab Theory, and we worked out that was 3 years ago, was it?
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jingles.
And we've kept in touch ever since. Like Jimmy Jingles.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Jingles.
That was your name choice.
Because it was just after COVID and we had to COVID test you, didn't we? We had to COVID test the whole crew and I was like, I'm really sorry
That's
about
right.
this. I'm going to have to stick this in your mouth.
Yeah.
But good though, and you won an award.
We won a couple on that, and we've got another one out called Dusty, and I've won a couple on that, so that's all right. It's all
Fantastic.
Well done.
Thank you for
I do
having
it
us.
more for pleasure than anything else. To be
Yeah,
honest
that's
with
it. Enjoy it. That's the main thing.
you. Yeah, it's like you were saying, going from soaps to stage, filming weddings where you've got one chance, then you're filming a comedy where you've got as many chances as you bloody want to film it. It's a completely different ball game, and that's why I like doing it. Anyway, fellas, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. This podcast has been brought to you by Snugdubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.